Hello, creative minds. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are making this beautiful dress, and this is the outcome of the tutorial. So, let's get right into it. So, for this project, we're using a Mikado fabric. This is a Mikado. This is how it looks like, how this camera captures it well. But it's a beautiful fabric. And to start with, we're going to fold our fabric in two. And then on the folded edge, you're going to take a mark down 3 inches for the front design. So now we're going to take the total length we're working with. This is a mini dress, and first of all, I took a measurement to my new length, and the outcome wasn't very great, so I had to reduce the length. So this length I'm taking right here, I actually reduced it in the course of making this video. So after taking your desired length, you're going to rule out the line so that it's more visible. And then from this point that we just ruled, we're going to be taking our measurement from there. First of all, our shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then this is a cut together sleeve with the dress. So we're going to extend it to our sleeve length, whatever you want your sleeve to be. But a short sleeve will be very complementary to the dress. So I'm using a total of 10 inches on my sleeve length. Then the sleeve is going to have a turn up. Then I'm adding extra 3 inches for the turn up of the sleeve. So in total, I have 13 inches for my sleeve extension. So now I'm going to take 3.5 inches for the neck wideness. And then for the neck depth, I'm also using a 3.5 inches. This is what I want to do. If you want yours to be kind of up, I don't know if that's the right word, you can just use 3 inches or 2.5. But according to the picture, it was about 3 inches or 2.5 for the neck depth. But I want mine to be very free, so I did this. So now from our shoulder, we're going to knot down our waist point. Mine is between 16 to 18. So you're just going to know that and then place your waist measurement divided by 4 and then your sewing allowance. So now we are going to place how wide we want our sleeve to be. For mine, this is the technique I use. You're just going to place your taper around your wrist, and whatever you have, you're going to place it there. You want as free as you want it to be. Mine, I use cutter. This is how I took it. So on the point of where your sleeve length is, you're going to take your round armhole just like this, and how free you want it to be, and then you're going to divide that by 2 and then place it on your measurements right from the slope, and then you're going to add half of an inch for sewing allowance. Now I'm just going to rule that, and then from that point you're just going to curve it just like this. You're just going to curve it like this, and then again from our shoulder we're going to note down our hip point just like this. My hip point is 25, and I'm going to place my hip measurement divided by 4 on that point. But the thing is, I added 1 inches for because it's not fitted, so I wanted to kind of give, I don't know what to call it, to give structure. So I just added 1 inch to my hip. So in total, it's going to give me extra 4 inch after making the dress, because the material is a stiff material, so it's going to give you that structure effect. And now whatever I have on my hip line, I'm going to place that on the hemline and then connect it just like this. And we have our front pattern already. So now we're just going to cut this out. So now for the back of this dress, I'm just going to label this back because it's hard to identify the wrong side of this fabric. So now we're just going to, this is me tracing out 1 inch from it because initially I used 2 inches for the structure I was hoping to get. Is that right? For the structure. So I had to reduce it by 1 inch. Now we're going to place the front part on the back folded pieces, and then you're making sure that you are extending the fabric by 1 inch. Just see what I'm doing here. The reason for this is the remaining 2 inches. Remember, we added 3 inches for the front. The remaining 2 inches on the back part now is going to stand for a zipper allowance. So now we're just going to, for the neckline, I'm using 2.5 inches for the depth of the neckline. So the neckline and the zipper allowance is the only difference from the front and the back right here. So now we're just going to trace this out. I mean the front on the back pieces. After tracing, this is what we have. And then I'm just going to make the zipper allowance very visible. So now we're just going to cut this out. After cutting this out, we are going to split it in two because the back pieces is going to be two. So we are done for this. And also, if you're using a Mikado fabric, please note it down by chalking the wrong side because it's very hard to identify the wrong from the right. Now let's sew it. You're going to open up your two pieces for the back facing the right side facing you, and then the right side of the front also facing the back pieces. Basically the right side facing each other, and then place the shoulder on each other and stitch it out by 1/2 inch, just like this. And after stitching, this is what you have. So now we're just going to open up the front pieces. This is the good side of the fabric, I mean the right side of the fabric for the front part. So now when you open it up, this is what you have. And then we're going to measure 3 inches, the 3 inches we added at first. We're going to measure that and then pin it down all the way to the hemline. So you take your 3 inches or whatever you added. If you want yours, if you don't want it to be as wide as 3 inches, you can use 2 inches. I think 2 inches is the minimum so that it can give you the shape you want. I mean the design. So we're just going to take that straight down and then pin it down. And we're going to stitch down on the point of 3 inches from the neckline down to the hemline. So this is the wrong side. We are stitching on the right side of the fabric. After stitching, this is what you have. I'm just going to open up this so that you can see properly. Yeah, this is what we have. And then you just open it up like this. You just share it in two. Just see what I'm doing here. It's very easy. And then you make sure you iron it and press it down. I had to use a presser to get that effect. After ironing, you press it down so that it can give you what you want. So now this is how it looks after properly iron. And then the inside, which is the wrong side, will look like this. Now we're going to place the back on it and then open up. Oh, sorry. We're going to open up the back, and from the neckline, we'll come down by half of an inch, which is what we'll be turning our neckline with. You come down by half of an inch like this, and then from that half of an inch point, you are going to take your allowance, zipper length. I'm using a zipper of 24 inches, so I'm taking 23 inches, and from that point I'm going to stitch it downwards by the half 2 inches. So now this is me reducing the length of the dress because it's not giving, so I have to reduce the length for it to be mini. So now this is what it looks like after stitching down the remaining parts. So now let's turn up our sleeve. You're going to take the 3 inches we added for the turn up. We're just going to mark that out. There was no light at this moment making this part. So I would have just go ahead to iron it to make it very easy. But still, you just use your finger to press it down just to give you to make you to give you that shape. Is it shape? I keep on saying shape. To give you to make the mark visible. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. So on the M line, these children. On the M line, you're just going to mark half of an inch and then stitch it down just like this, like as if you are stitching your normal sleeve. This is what it will give you. Now, this is the trick to it. Pull it up like this. Let me turn it to the right side. After turning it, see what it looks like. On the right side, just turn it up like this, making sure that quarter of an inch is in so that the side you stitch is not showing. And then stitch on the line you have there. And after stitching down, this is what you have. So now we're just going to stitch down the side of this dress. Make sure you stitch where the fabric ends because the fabric is not totally up to the end. I'm lost of words. So now just going to take our sewing allowance, which is 1 inch, and then I stitch down from the arm down to the just like this, down to the hemline. After stitching the two sides, this is what you'll be having. Then I went ahead to trim off the excess because I'm still going to weave every part of it. So now this is what the sleeve looks like after ironing it and stitching it down. So now we're just going to take our round, whatever we have on our neckline round, and then note that. So I have a pieces here. I'm just going to cut out a bias to turn in the neckline. But if you have a bias tape, you can just use that. So I'm taking 1 inch for the length of what I have on my neckline. So now we're going to place this right side facing the right side of the main fabric, and then pin that down round, and then turn it just like this, making sure that nothing is outside. And this is what it will give us. I don't know how best to explain that, but just turn it like you're using a bias to turn it. Now this is what our zipper looks like. Now for the ruffles under the dress, I just this is about 5.5 inches. And then for the length of what I use to pleat or gather by pleat though, it's 32 inches times 4. Yeah, I have 32 inches here times 4. I'm folding it by 4. I folded it by 4, I mean. And then I'm going to plait it round the hemline. On the hemline, I have 54 inches for the hem line. So you're just going to stitch down one side and then plait the other side to it, or you can gather it, depend on what effect you want on your dress. So this is what we have. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.